All right, everybody, this is the Baseball Hood, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, the Hood, and welcome back to the Baseball Hood. Hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. As you know, the Mets have signed, and he's a New York Met, Juan Soto, and the Mets have a lot of work ahead of them. One of the things they need to do is fill out this rotation because obviously they brought in Frankie Montas, they brought in Clay Holmes to go back. To be a starter, because he was a starter in the minor leagues, and he started, I guess he was a starter a little bit for the Pirates about 6-7 years ago. But the Mets still need pitching help in the major league level, especially the starters. So all kind of rumors that the Mets are going to do their best to try to re-sign Sean Manaea. He loved it here. The Mets really enjoyed having him in the clubhouse. He was a pretty good guy that they had. Now, there's a whole bunch of pitchers that are getting moved, or supposedly getting moved. A lot of new names. I'll give you a couple names. Jesus Luzardo, his name has popped up. We've heard his name a little bit in the past. Luis Castillo, he's probably going to get traded because the Mariners might be the one team that have a lot of pitching and have very little positional help, and they need position players out the wazoo. The wazoo. And but another pitcher that's popped up during the last few days, really since the end of the winter meetings, was Dylan Cease. Now, Dylan Cease had gotten traded earlier this year from the worst team in baseball history, the White Sox, to the Padres. And he pitched for the Padres. He had an okay year, but now he's on the last year of his contract, and the Padres seem to want to, sort of pair payroll. Plus, A.J. Preller he's like Jerry DiPoto Jr. in a lot of ways. He likes to make trades. And his Dylan Cease has popped up. And also, I would mention Luis Arias, his name has popped up a little bit too. He's going to have a very interesting market. Keep an eye on the Yankees. They could use a second baseman, I think. And of course, Dylan Cease is going to be out there. I got a couple of articles and some teams that attach them, but the main team in this video, obviously, is the New York Mets. This is from Sporting News. Mets trade proposal brings Dylan Cease to New York and blockbuster 4-player swap. Okay, the New York Mets have answered a pressing roster question for 15 years to come. After signing superstar slugger Juan Soto to a 15-year, $765 million contract, the team will build around the best hitter in baseball for the next decade plus. But I would mention, this is kind of I don't know if I mentioned this. You know what, I'll mention it in another video. But they still have some holes to fill 2025. Once Luis Severino's Sean Manaea hit free agency this winter, that starting rotation was called into question. The team will have Kodai Senga back and sign veteran Frankie Montas in hopes to turn reliever Clay Holmes into a starter, but the Mets could certainly use a frontline boost if they hope to contend for the World Series next season. With that in mind, MLB Network's Hot Stove has proposed a trade that will bring bona fide ace Dylan Cease to New York in a trade with the San Diego Padres. In exchange, the Padres would receive best prospects Blade Tidwell, Brian Clifford, and Ryan Mauricio. The Padres are thought to be listening on proposals for Cease, who they acquired just ahead of this past season in a blockbuster trade of their own, as he's headed into his final year of arbitration eligibility. Before Cease has the chance to negotiate a major long-term contract with free agency, the Padres could be looking for some younger talent to reload their farm system or to flip in yet another deal. Now, they did that with Juan Soto. When they saw that they couldn't sign him, they'd send him to the Yankees. In the proposal from Hot Stove, the Mets would be giving up their number 4 prospect in Clifford, the number 6 in Mauricio, and the number 8 in Tidwell. That would be a lot of prospect talent for a player who might serve as a 1-year rental. So the Mets might only pull the trigger on a deal like if they have any assertions that Cease will sign an agreeable extension with them. Quote, if you're going to make these moves and you're the Mets, I've got to say, give me 24 hours to negotiate a deal with Dylan. I've got to lock him up. Hot Stove Harold Reynolds said. If not, he goes back on the board. I don't know about that. Because if you feel he's going to help you, and he's been pretty healthy the last 4 years, I would just bring him in here anyway and just let him acclimate to being here. And if he get acclimates here and he likes it here, then you sign him. I don't like this idea. This can be a very difficult market to play in, and there'll be a lot of pressure on him. I would not do that, because then it'd be a little unfair for him to adjust into here And he might not like it here. So I don't know if that's a good idea. But anyway, if the Mets do find a way to add Cease, they would instantly form a 1-2 punch at the top of the rotation alongside Senga. Cease has made at least 32 starts in each of the last 4 seasons, with a 3.47 ERA across 33 starts in 2024. He has earned the Cy Young Award and Most Valuable Player award votes in 2 separate seasons. At age 28, could maintain that effectiveness well into a long-term extension. If they dominate the free agent market with their deal for Soto, perhaps the Mets will now turn to the trade market to make yet another blockbuster ahead of 2025. Well, I do not like the idea of giving him a contract and not seeing how he performs here. New York can be very difficult. And I'm going to throw a couple other names out here. This from Clutch Points. MLB rumors. Guardians raise floated as possible Dylan Cease trade spots. Dylan Cease could be a trade candidate for the San Diego Padres. Why would the competitive Padres consider moving a star hurler like him? Well, he is going to be a free agent soon, and the Padres may look to capitalize on his current value. According to MLB Insider and the Munchkin, Ken Rosenthal, the Cleveland Guardians, Tampa Bay Rays, potential landing spots for the 28-year-old. That's interesting. I would think the Cleveland Guardians would be interested in a trade for Dylan Cease. I would think the Tampa Bay Rays would be interested for 1 year of Dylan Cease. The trade is not guaranteed to happen. He's only under contract for 1 more season, though. The Padres decide to keep Cease for the 25 campaign. They may risk losing him in the MLB. Rays, a couple other teams, the Cubs. The word is about the Cubs is that they're making that deal for Kyle Tucker. They are looking for a starter. Keep an eye on him and keep an eye on Luis Castillo with the Cubs. The Phillies and Baltimore. Now, a couple of Met rumors that I heard online. I don't know how true they are. I'm not a big fan of those rumors. I'm going to point out that the Mets have talked to Chris Flexen, the former Met, the once again former Met, moved again, traded for, back again, did not pitch that badly for a bad team last year with the White Sox. Went 3-15, but his numbers were under, I can't believe his ERA was under 5 on that kind of a team. And the other pitcher who I heard the other day, which was I think Wednesday, which is very troubling to me, is Justin Verlander. Believe it or not, another guy that they have been talking to. Now, they're just talking as far as I can tell, but those are a couple names that popped up over the last few days, and that's interesting, to say the least. But the Mets are not done. They need at least 2 hitters in this lineup. I would hope that they bring back Pete Alonso, put him at first. They could use a DH, to be honest with you, and they need pitching help. The bullpen, you can kind of work with it. You can play with it a little bit. You can bring in guys. You can bring in, you can elevate guys from the minor leagues and put them in the bullpen, like they did with Jose Buto and the Daniel Nunez and stuff like that. You can do all kinds of different things with the bullpen. The best way to build a bullpen, quite frankly, folks, is through your farm system. It's a lot cheaper. It doesn't work out, get them out of here, you bring them in. But a lot of times you want to develop them, do starters, and get them to really work on their repertoire and get them to focus in on 2 pitches when they get to the major leagues to put them in the bullpen. That's the most cost-effective way. But to get back to Dylan Cease, he is an anchor. He'd be a really good anchor for the Mets. And for any team, he starts every game. Very strong. And you let me know what you think about this video. And, of course, please subscribe to Baseball Hut, and I'll see you later.